2. Good afternoon and welcome to River Forest on this Sunday for men's soccer action between the Marian Sabres and your Concordia University Chicago Cougars. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network for this NAC matchup between the Cougars and Marian. No starting lineups, no national anthem today. We're hopping right into the action as Marian is going to start with the ball. And we are already underway here in River Forest. It's the end of homecoming week here at CUC. Plenty of festivities were held throughout the week, including tons of athletic action this weekend, capped off by today's game between the Cougars and the Sabres. As coming into the zone now is Samuel Epperle, and he's going to maybe have the first chance of the game. Instead, this one's going to roll to the Marian goalkeeper. That's number 0, Aaron Perez, in net for the Sabres. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, and the one currently handling the ball, it's number 1, Nicholas Pursuit. As this kick's going to go out of bounds and roll to the Marian bench, so throw in coming up here for the Sabres. This one booted back towards the middle of the pitch. Get a little bit of a recap of these two teams' seasons so far for Marian. They're rolling into today a record of 6-5-1 overall, 4-2-1 in conference play, coming off 2 straight wins against IIT, and then most recently at Dominican. That was this past Wednesday, a 4-3 win over the Division Street rivals of the Cougars here at CUC. Meanwhile, the Cougars, they're coming off their first win of the year this past Wednesday, a 1-0 shutout against Rockford right here at Concordia Stadium. Until then, they had lost 8 of their first 9 games. The other game was a tie against Lakeland, as this attempt is blocked by number 13 for Marian, Walter Sebastian. And goal scoring has been the main area of concern for the Cougars coming into today. Just 3 goals on the year, one from Oscar Montejano. That was in the 1-0 shutout against Rockford. Garrett Pointer scored in the opening game of the year at Wheaton way back on September 1st. And then Oladapo Asanake scored his first goal of the year back on the 1st of this month at MSOE. That was a 3-1 loss for the Cougars. And now we're going to get a foul here called as coming over the top of Drew Cowden. Number 22 for the Cougars, Elias Di Santiago. Weekend of CUC athletics for homecoming kicked off this past Friday night when the women's volleyball team took down Marian's volleyball team in a thrilling 5-set victory as Pursuit grabs this header off a Sabres player. And Saturday, women's tennis beat Alverno, as now Epperle had a chance here. This ball is booted into the middle of nowhere. Sabres are going to have to try and fight for it deep into their own zone. A good defensive play there by Matt Williamson to get it out of bounds, help his defense set up a little as the Cougars are still on the attack. This one rolls out off of Cougar, so Williamson will get the throw in. Women's tennis beat Alverno yesterday 8-1. Then women's soccer team here at CUC played Marian's women's soccer team. That was a 1-1 draw. Women's volleyball played again yesterday afternoon, falling in 3 sets to St. Norbert, and then yesterday was capped off by the big football game as the Cougars were able to successfully take down the Rockford Regents. That was a final score of 37-13 in favor of the Cougs. So now we're here, the last match of the weekend. Marian and CUC's men's soccer team now face off as here comes a chance now. And that saved by Pursuit. Good opportunity from Giuliano Corazina. Instead, it ends with a Nick Pursuit save, and we're still tied at nothing. This big kick from Pursuit makes it all the way on to the 30-yard line on Marian's half of the pitch. Cougars now control it right in front of the Marian bench. This one's going to drop all the way back to Michael Frank, number 17 in white. And that's going to be a turnover. Here comes Drew Cowden now. And now he leaves it for Corey Zena. And now Cowden, good block there up front. Solid defense from Brian Gonzalez. So a couple chances already here for Marian in the early goings. CUC able to fend him off, though. Pursuit, nice save. Brian Gonzalez just had a nice block at the top of the box. I'll keep this one at 0 goals apiece. Should also add to all the athletics going on this weekend. Women's, well, no need to clarify. Women's softball taking on Roosevelt on CUC softball field right now in a 15-inning scrimmage. So unofficial contest, but still part of this weekend's festivities and athletics. As here's a takeaway by number 13 for the Cougars, Michael Byron, one of the captains on this team, wearing that highlighter yellow armband on his left bicep. Marionette now set for a throw in deep into the Cougars' own third. Kicked away out of the box by Byron. Marian resets at the top of the zone, but here comes the Cougars. Thought they had something for a second. Marian gets it right back, however. Malsey drops it. Here's Epperly, gets bodied there by number 2, Isaac Olson. Team still fighting for possession. Last touch by Marian before it rolls out of bounds. Throw in now by DeSantiago. Now a header from Walter Sebastian moves it downfield a ways. Fighting forward at the middle of the pitch. And then out of bounds off of Brian Gonzalez. Marian throw in. Cougars wearing their all-white home uniforms, moving right to left on your screen. Goalkeeper for CUC, Nick Pursuit, wearing his all-neon yellow uniform. As this ball moving back with some speed towards Perez in net. Marian, they're all black away uniforms with white lettering and trim. They're moving left to right to start here in the first half. Goalkeeper Perez in the bright yellow uniform. This ball is trickling back into the Cougars' third. Byron trying to get control of it, able to keep it in. Now flip back towards the net. Here's Cowden dealing with it. Now a shot, Nick Pursuit, nice save there. Shot came from just over the top of the box, and Pursuit staying his ground, makes the big save. Already had a couple in this game so far. Cougars deep into Marian zone. That one's booted away by the Sabres defenseman right before getting to the net. Malsey. And here's a shot. It's blocked by Olson. Marian doing a good job of clogging up the front right now. As a whistle blown, Marian will get a free kick here. Olsen. Set to kick it off. Olsen's kick downfield. Malsey. Still fighting for it, just over half on the Cougar side of things. Here comes Marian now, streaking into the zone. Cowden. This one flipped towards the net, headed away by DeSantiago before Marian can do anything with it. And now trying to keep it in is Epperly. He does, but not able to keep it in favor of the Cougars as Marian comes down now. This one lofted the far side of the box. Here's Cowden. Seen a lot of touches already today. This one flipped towards the net, and it just goes wide. Got past Pursuit, a couple of black jerseys, a couple of white jerseys. Could have been disastrous there for the Cougars. Instead, just over 10 minutes into the first half here, we're still tied up at 0. This one booted all the way back down by Marian, a header there by Byron. So we've already seen Nick Pursuit make a couple of saves as Byron kicks this one over his own head. Coming in today, Pursuit seen the most action of all Cougar goalies so far. 10 games played, just over 661 minutes of action. 15 goals allowed versus 31 saves. That's for a .674 save percentage and a 2.04 goals against average. 1-7-1 record. He's played in one shutout as well as one combined shutout. That one combined shutout came along with Kyle Schultz. That was against Rockford most recently. This one is kicked towards the net, headed away. Another shot here, and it's way up there. No good attempt. Marian has had the bulk of opportunities so far today. Forced Pursuit to make a couple of saves. Pursuit sends this one down now. Talked about Pursuit. Let's look at the other goalie in the match for Marian. It's Aaron Perez. 5 games played. 341 minutes of action, 6 goals against 14 saves for a .700 save percentage of 1.58 goals against average. 2-2 record, has played in one shutout. Is this one sent towards the net and just off the back of the head? It looks like Brian Gonzalez. Whistle blown, however. So I don't know if that would have counted anyways if it ended in the net, as Marian starts it down from their own goal. Looks like they're saying Gonzalez got a little too much contact with some of the players going in towards the net. He was almost inside of the net on that header attempt. So Cougars get their first really good opportunity of the game. Unlike Marian, they're unable to convert. And here comes Cowden. Leaves it for Duran. Duran and number 6 for the Cougars, Austin Montejano, getting physical over the ball. Cougars get possession out of it. Israel Durden, third on the Marian roster in goals scored with 3. Pursuit sends this far side to Michael Frank. Second in goals on the team is Drew Cowden, number 17, and then number 5, Giuliano Correa. Zena is the leading goal scorers. This one sent away from in front of the net. Cougars getting some good opportunities here now. Still unable to convert on any of them. Sent towards middle pitch, headed back in by not Gonzalez. It's number 16, Juan Valencia. There's Michael Frank now. Byron all the way down off the head of Austin Montejano. Here's Byron. Sends it back to his partner in Frank. Frank now. And here's a chance, a shot blocked. Good block there from the Sabres defense. Had a couple of them today. I mean, Cougars got some good opportunities, but their shot's not even reaching the net. So Marian Sabres, their defense has no problem selling out for those blocks. Now Cowden, this one launched down past Corizina. And now Frank's just going to kick it all the way back to Pursuit. Pursuit's going to try to get it to DeSantiago. Good job there by number 22 to keep it in. And Gonzalez to Valencia. Now DeSantiago sends it down. Isaac Olson. Frank. Kicks it back to Pursuit. Pursuit stops it with his foot. He's going to kick it before Corizina gets there. Like a couple bounces off Malsey of the Cougars, as well as Logan Loevis. And here's a chance here. Corizina, great save. Nick Pursuit staying on top of his head here in the first half. Big reason this game still is at no score. Cougars aren't out of the woods just yet. Logan Holevis back to attempt the corner kick. Body stack in front of the Cougar net. So after a great scoring chance from Corizina, Marian right back knocking on the doorstep. Here's the corner kick. Not headed away there by Byron. Now trying to keep it in unsuccessfully was Oscar Montejano. Thrown out of bounds and given to the Cougars. Throw in stopped because we had some substitutions being made. Cowden, nice footwork there. Dumps it, a little give and go, but too far ahead of Cowden. That pass was to Max Kaufman, and Kaufman put it in front of Cowden a little too much. Oscar Montejano hands it off. Here comes Garrett Pointer now, recently entered the game. Has one of the Cougars' 3 goals on the year. Now Austin Montejano. And a shot there from Austin Montejano, excuse me. There's Oscar Montejano previously. Here he is again now. This one on net and bounced off Perez. The rebound's still there, and Perez comes out and recovers. Good pressure there from the Cougars. Really making Perez work for it. Oh, here's Valencia, try to get it downfield. Throw in there from Di Santiago. Frank moves it down over half. Kicked out of bounds by Pointer. So throw in deep into their own zone is from Marian, basically at the corner. This one goes out. Some Austin Montejano now. Now throw in. Someone coming back towards Austin Montejano. Sends it towards net. Kicked out of there by Sabres. Dealing with it now is Chase Hayden, number 12 in black. But this one's intercepted. Austin Montejano. Now another header from Marian keeps it away from Perez. Here's Frank up top to Valencia. Valencia keeps it moving towards the Marian goal. Drop off here and a big push from behind, and that's going to draw the whistle. Free kick coming up here from the Cougars, just inside the 20-yard line on Marian's half. 3 Cougars line up behind the ball for a little bit of trickery, and finally Di Santiago sends it in, and that one finds its way to goal. Scooped up by Perez, however, giving it a little extra boost with Spencer Nicholson. Redirected that one right to Perez. Now Marian on the attack. Set to kick it in is Logan Halevis. To the right of the Cougars bench from our perspective. See first-year head coach Chad Flanders strolling in front of the bench as this one is going to go far past the net and out. Goal kick coming up from Nick Pursuit. Coach Flanders in his first year at the helm here at Concordia, taking over from Michael Rango last season. Coach Alex Lander's got his first CUC win last game against Rockford. And he's looking for number 2 here today against the Sabres. His opponent a little bit more experience. Might be an understatement. It's Craig Peltonen, 35th season with the Marian Sabres. And that's going to be a Cougar goal. Brian Gonzalez gets number 1 on the year. And now with 19:47 left to go here in the first half. Cougars take the 1-0 lead. Marian gets set to start things off here again. All of a sudden find themselves trailing by 1. Racing down the sideline now is Marian trying to get a shot off, but unsuccessfully stopped by the Cougar defense. Now here goes Gonzalez, moving all the way down. Just put the brakes on his defender. And now Marian leaves it for Nicholson, who gets it right back to Marian. An absolute beautiful header from Gonzalez on that goal. Perfect setup on the pass, too. One of the prettier goals you'll see out there, and gives the Cougars the 1-0 lead. More importantly, this offense starting to find a bit of a groove as this one's kicked back to Pursuit. So they scored a goal in their opening week in their opening match of the season against Wheaton on September 1st, and then they proceeded to go 7 straight games without scoring a goal, stretching from September 7th through their match on September 28th at Lakeland. And they finally broke through on the first of the month, scoring 1 against MSOE. They got 1 this past Wednesday in their shutout victory over Rockford. And now they got their 3rd straight game here, scoring a goal against Marian. Question is 1 going to be enough, or will the Cougars score 2 for the first time this season? And it's now Frank boots this one all the way down. With the ball now is Matt Williamson. Fighting for it in the Cougar zone are the 2 teams. A couple headers back and forth. Michael Byron gets a body on it. So free kick coming up here from Marian. For it with Alex Alonso. Now a header there from DeSantiago. Asanake sends it up for number 22 in white, but DeSantiago loses it. Olsen just keeps it in bounds. Now Marian Marian the other way. Stopped there by the body of Gonzalez. And Michael Frank's just going to boot that to Nicholas Pursuit. Byron up to Madsen. Madsen's got himself into trouble, but gets out of it. Marian still eventually comes away with it. And just keeping it in was Williamson, but he turns it over to the Cougars on that attempt. And Olsen heads this one out, gives his defense some time to move downfield as the Cougars set up for the attack. Less than 3 to go here in half number 1. Matt Williamson. Devin Madsen back to Michael Frank. Quick score update, or final score from the other CUC team in action today. CUC women's tennis wrapping up their season with a final match up at Lakeland University. They dropped that match 8-1. So women's tennis season comes to an end here in River Forest. Finished with a record of 2-12, 1-7 in conference play. So Cougars, Marian, the match you're watching right now. The last one of the weekend officially now. So overall good homecoming weekend here at CUC. Women's volleyball able to pick up a win. Women's tennis picked up a win yesterday. Football had a big win, their first conference win on the year over Rockford. And then women's soccer, came away with a draw yesterday against the Sabres women's soccer team. Now the men's team going to see if they could pick up a win to cap off homecoming weekend 2022. Let the good times roll was the theme. As here goes Asanake, but speeding ahead of him and getting it to his goalie was Matt Williamson. Good recovery there from the junior midfielder out of Brighton, England. Devin Madsen now. Less than a minute to go here in half number 1, and Michael Frank, he races to it, centers it, and this one on net, but Perez is right there. Garrett Pointer. Shot number 3 in the half, shot on goal number 2 for the sophomore in white, number 20, and Perez taking away that goal. Great setup there from Michael Frank. Garrett Pointer in the right spot at the right time, and so was Aaron Perez for Marian. Comes up with save number 4 on the half. Same amount of saves as his Cougar counterpart Nicholas Pursuit, but the key difference is Perez has let in a goal, and that's how we have gotten to our 1-0 score here at the end of 45. Cougars up by on Marian. So we're going to take a halftime break here at CUC, and then we'll be back for half number 2 here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Half two about to kick off here in River Forest. Cougars up on the Marian Sabres, 1-0. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. A little Sunday afternoon action between these two NAC rivals. Peter Borkowski on the call with you. Good time to remind everyone that you can find updates for all CUC athletics on our website, cucougars.com. Find information about all the sports teams on campus here, like CUC men's soccer. All you have to do is click on sports, click on the team you're trying to find information about. You can find rosters, schedule, stats, and more. Again, that is cucougars.com. So let's look over some of the first half stats as we get underway here in the final 45. Goalies both have 4 saves apiece. However, Aaron Perez has let in the one. That was a header from Brian Gonzalez, assisted by Oscar Montejano. Speaking of Gonzalez, the only goal scorer in today's match. Montejano, the only other player with a point with that assist. Garrett Pointer has found the net a couple of times, as this one is a header and it goes wide left of the net. Pointer with 3 shots in total, 2 of them on goal. Still trying to find goal number 1 on the game, goal number 2 on the season. Also having multiple shots in the game is number 23, Andreas Marian. He's got 2. Oscar Montejano, Brian Gonzalez, Garrett Pointer, and Spencer Nicholson are the Cougars with shots on goal, as this one's going to fall all the way back to Pursuit. Meanwhile, for the Sabres, still looking for their first goal of the game. Juliana Corazina has 4 shots so far, 2 of which have found the goal. Still looking for that first one to find the back of the net. Max Kaufman has a 2 shots, one of which was on goal. Israel Duran has 1 shot, which was on goal, and then Drew Cowden has a shot. Not on goal, however, as Marian gets set for a throw in here. Thrown in by Chase Hayden. Don't know if you could tell on the broadcast, but when that ball was up in the air, Pursuit had to put his hand up to his eyes. Sun could become a factor as we get into the later stages of today's game, especially for Pursuit down on that end of the field. Throw-in coming up for Marian, deep in the Cougars' own third. Body stack to the left of Pursuit. He comes out a little bit. Throw in this one. It trickles almost into the net. Pursuit stretches out and grabs it. Pursuit making use of his 6'2", 185 frame. Intimidating goalie in net. Ball down the near sideline. Samuel Epperly put on the moves. He's got a chance here. He centers it, but it goes wide of the net. Throw-in coming up here for Marian. Ball is going to go out of bounds near the Cougar sideline. Cougar tripped up there. Whole bench wants the call. They are going to get a free kick out of it. DeSantiago winds up right in front of his teammates, taking a seat on the bench. Santiago gets set. It's kicked downfield. It's going towards the net. Perez jumps up and grabs it above his head. Now here's Chase Hayden. Ball goes out of bounds on the Cougars' half. Throw-in coming up for DeSantiago. High arc on the throw-in, bounced off the head of Williamson and out. Another throw-in coming up here for the Cougars. Ball batted around a couple times. Cowden sends it down, headed back the other way by DeSantiago. Here's Brian Gonzalez now, lone goal scorer on the day, gets set up for the throw-in after that one goes out of bounds. Throw-in from the Cougars. Another throw-in, this one from DeSantiago. Launched back the other way by Marian. Michael Frank coming down to head it. Frank stands at 6'2". The taller figures out on the field anytime the Cougars play. Kicked up field by Ozeline. Oscar Montejano, your far sideline to DeSantiago. Oscar Montejano again. Dribbles up field. He's got some room to work with. Oscar Montejano. He's going to leave this one for DeSantiago, who launches this near corner, headed by Israel Duran. Ooh, big header there off of the top of Austin Montejano. Looks like it hit him in the side of the head. And now Marin's down on the ground. Big collision there. Marian tries to get the other way, try to kick it behind him to himself as Israel Duran, and another Cougar body hits the ground. That's Austin Montejano. Another whistle blown. Good defensive tie up here from De Santiago. He's getting pushed around, though, by Corazina before he clears it out. Cowden tries to center it, gets past everyone, however. Less than 35 minutes here to go in River Forest. Cougars up 1-0 on the Sabres. Remember, no more overtime here in the regular season. Final score at the end of 90 is the final score. Tie or not. So we're seeing a lot more ties from teams in both the men's and women's side of things this season. Cougars men's team just has one on the year, however. Game against Lakeland, a 0-0 tie back on September 28th. Now, goal kick set here for Nicholas Pursuit. Frank shoots this one downfield, headed out of bounds. Quickly given to Austin Montejano for the throw-in. Monto looking around, tries to deal up, but it's picked up instead by Israel Duran. Now sent downfield. Michael Byron able to keep it in with that kick. You know, here goes Elias De Santiago. De Santiago rushing up field, leaves it behind him for Marian. Marian now near sideline. And that one hit by Frank as well as Sabre at the same time. Now here's going to come a good shot opportunity. Still dribbling is number 24 in black. That was Israel Duran, but he loses it to the defense, and no shot attempt even comes. Great defense there by the Cougars. Duran pulling out the footwork. Now, free kick coming up here for Azaline. Azaline to the top of the box, headed away by Frank. Sam Epperly pursues it while Isaac Olson controls it. Corner kick coming up here for Marian. It's off. This one headed towards the net and just saved. Off the head of Juan Valencia. That was going into the top of the net, and 5'6" Valencia got all the way up there to get his head on the ball. What a save there from the senior out of Chicago. Wiped a goal off the board. Marian still on the doorstep as we get another corner kick here. The Kick comes. This one headed in, hits the pipe. Marian almost came away with the game-tying goal 2 times in a row. As now Pursuit handles the ball. First attempt was going into the top of the net, but Juan Valencia got up there and used his head to knock it away. And then that second shot hit the corner of the goal. There's now Corzina. Great defensive effort there by Michael Byron. There's a whistle on the play, though. The free kick. It's a header, and it hits the pipe again. It hits the pipe again. Oh, my goodness. The goal itself saving the 1-0 lead for the Cougars. In the last minute or so, we've seen 3 Marian shots, ring off the pipe. I don't know what Nick Pursuit can do to return the favor to the goal, but those were 3 potential Marian goals wiped off the board from the goal itself. Now the team's still fighting for it. Cougars somehow still up by 1. A header there from Frank trying to clear, and then while he's falling to the ground, Valencia able to kick it away, but he draws the whistle anyway. So free kick coming up here for CUC. On Valencia. Andres Marian loses control of it. Now here's Oscar Montano. Puts the brakes on Cowden before Austin Montano just sends it back for Frank, who sends it across for Byron, who now sends it far sideline, Di Santiago. Ball over the head of Valencia, dealt with now by Byron. Cowden kicks it towards the middle, picked up by Corazina. Marian in control of it now. Here come the Cougars. They got a chance. This one tried to be centered. Wasn't too much power behind it, and easily kicking it out of bounds is Azaline. Goal kick coming up here for Marian, as instead they're just going to get started with it. Williamson Tries to move it up, loses it though. Sent the other way now. Your Pointer fights for it. Pointer, a big-bodied freshman. 6'2", 190 out of Noblesville, Indiana. Three shots in the first half, two of which found their way to the goal. So scoreless on the day, however. Throw in here from Marian. High arc on the ball. It's still bouncing in front of the net, and now Corzina is going to take a shot and almost hits the top of the football field goal. Just about. So really booting that one up in the air. A couple of substitutions coming in. Spencer Nicholson in. Devin Madsen in now for CUC. The header going the wrong way, though, for Marian. Correcting course in the back is Azaline. Is now Pointer tries to fight for it. Azaline able to stop him for a second. Cougars do have the ball still. And now speeding downfield was Marian for a second before that turnover. But Cowden's right there. His kick goes to Nicholson. Now Marian, they're moving downfield. Here goes Cowden. Pressured by Austin Montejano. Great defense there from number 6 in white. Forces the goal kick. Whistle, Marian ball. This one sent towards the Cougars net. Nothing comes of it, though. Michael Frank heads it away, trying to keep it in bounds as Di Santiago he does, and it ends up going out off of Corzina. So throw-in coming up again for CUC. This one booted far side of the Cougars' half of the pitch. Goes out of bounds. Last touch called on Marian. So goal kick coming up here for the Cougars. Corzina still fighting for the ball. Bunch of white jerseys in the vicinity trying to dislodge it. They do successfully. Marian sends it back down, however. This one trickling into the near corner. And a bit of a misplay there from Austin Montejano. And the goal is open, but Pursuit comes out to make the grab. Austin Montejano didn't put much on that pass to Pursuit, which gave Cowden a chance to make a play out of it. Pursuit luckily got there first. Less than 19 minutes to go here now in River Forest. Ball sent back down. Here goes Corzina. Corzina centers it. Cowden, a shot, and it just goes left. Cowden, a fantastic opportunity set up by Corzina. Almost could have tied the game up at 1. Instead, with 18:24 left to go on the clock, Cougars still lead Marian 1-0. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Cougar fans, be sure to check out our YouTube page, CUC Sports, for new digital content, interviews, and all broadcasts on the Cougar Sports Network. Now, you can become a channel member for just $5 a month to receive exclusive access to content and the ability to participate in live chats during the broadcast. All you got to do is go to our YouTube channel, CUC Sports, click the join button, and you can become a member for just $5 a month. But if you don't want to become a member at the time, you can still donate to the CUC Athletic Communications Department to continue to improve the broadcast you're all watching by clicking the thank button on any video. No matter what you do, though, we sincerely thank you for all of your support. Plays getting a little physical here between the two teams. Some of the Cougars faithful in attendance wanting certain calls to be made. Refs letting teams mostly play things out here as we're now under 17 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Ball go with the Cougars here as we do get some subs. Brian Gonzalez is going to come off. Coming in, it's number 36, Clement Gonet, senior out of Martin Luther King High School in France, making the trip all the way here to River Forest. Nice kick there from Valencia. Ball still on the Cougars' half of the pitch. Goal kick coming up here for Marian, as they're just going to let their defense handle it. Spencer Nicholson putting the pressure on. Getting rid of it just in time was Holevis. They're there by Nicholson. A little bit of a misfire as that one bounces into the Cougars bench. Marian throwing. Referee's now having a conversation with head coach of Marian, Craig Peltonen. Marian working it up the far sideline. Corazina getting double team there. Still comes away with it. Centers it. Here goes Cowden. He's got a shot. Scores! Drew Cowden dribbles himself into prime scoring area and puts that one past Nick Pursuit for Marian's first of the day. 14-14 left to go here in the second half. And we have a brand new soccer game as we're tied up at 1 goal apiece. Drew Cowden scores, listed as an unassisted goal. Cowden had to do a little bit of dancing to get himself into the right spot before putting that one right past Pursuit. Not much the senior keep for CUC could do on that one. Cowden was about in good scoring area as you can get. Now throw in here from D. Santiago. Less than 13 and a half minutes to go here in River Forest. No more overtime in the regular season. So one of these two teams, if they want to walk away with a win, they got just under 13, just over 13 minutes now to do it. Here comes Michael Frank dribbling in. Dribbles right out of bounds, so throw in here. One booted towards Duran. Duran now going into the corner. He's going to try to settle it, guarded by Austin Montejano, and a header there. Cowden, another shot, goes wide right of the net. Coming into today, Marian ranked number 6 in the conference, 6-5-1 overall, 4-2-1 in conference play. Meanwhile, the Cougars, they are sitting all the way down at number 11, 1-8-1 overall, 1-5-1 in conference play. Aurora sits at the top of the standings with a still undefeated conference record of 5-0-2, while Lakeland still looking for their first conference win way down at the bottom of the standings, 0-7-1 in NAC play. Austin Montano before the throw-in. Good shot on net there from Duran. Some fancy footwork to put that one on net, but no challenge for Pursuit. Now Duran coming back down, guarded by Austin Montejano, who launches it out of bounds. disrupts the flow and gets his defense time to set up. Header here from Gonet. Now Nicholson fights for it. Madsen tries to get it up to Nicholson and eventually finds its way up to Gonet, who puts on the brakes, looks around. Dribbles it under the feet of the ref to Brian Gonzalez. Goal scorer for the Cougars today. Duran leaves it. Here goes Holevis. Holevis shot. Good block there. I think Michael Frank was the one who got a piece of it. Officially less than 10 minutes to go here in the game. Sabres Cougars tied up at 1 on the Cougar Sports Network. Sabres going to set up for the corner kick here, see if they can get something out of it. This one going to the net and went up and grabbing it was Pursuit. No difficulty there for the 6'2" senior out of New Boston, Michigan. Now Pursuit's going to come all the way out, make the grab. Less than 9 minutes to go now. One of these teams that want to walk away with the win as Michael Frank is tripped up by Duran. So free kick coming up here for Frank. It's set. He's just going to kick it back to his goalie. He's going to kick it right back to Frank. Frank's going to kick it back to Pursuit. A little no, you take it between the two of them. Now working up the sidelines, DeSantiago. DeSantiago gets pressured. Good pressure there as the ball goes out of bounds. Cougars will keep possession, however. The Marian now gets a chance to set up their defense a little. Whistle blown. Marian ball. Now here comes Cowden. Works around Gonzalez. He's got speed. Goal scorer today from Marian. Now Duran centers it. Cowden dribbles around and a shot. And a good play there. We still got a Cougar on the ground. It's Michael Byron. And we're going to get the athletic trainers onto the field as Byron gets back up. Athletic trainer making her way onto the field is stopped though, and going to walk back off onto the sideline. Byron's going to work his way off the field as well. Marian makes her way back out of the field after huddling around their bench. 6:52 left here in River Forest. Cougars lose one of their captains in Byron for the time being as he's out on the sideline getting stretched out. Cougars get some new personnel on the field. They get ready to make their last push, try and keep Marian off the board as we get a throw in here from Williamson. And the Cougars still need to go downfield and get a goal if they want to walk away with a win, as this one's headed into the front. Batted up now. And Gonay sends this down. Right there to get a foot on it is Walter Sebastian of Marian. Now Oscar Montejano is going to watch that one go out. Finally, we get a throw in here. Oscar Montejano moves up the far sideline, kicks it ahead, and now we got two bodies down. Montejano had a collision with a Saber. That's Olsen. So free kick coming up here for the Cougars, it looks like. Devin Madsen, the free kick, sends this towards the net. And Olsen tries to head it out of there, and then it's finally kicked away by Williamson. Di Santiago, now Madsen. Olsen. Gonay heads it up, trying to fight for it. And now here it comes Michael Frank. Leaves this. Here goes Brian Gonzalez. He's putting the moves on, and a shot from Gonzalez goes wide right. It's one of the mini stands of bleachers at the end of the end zone. And will result in the goal kick for Marian. Michael Frank here now with the ball. Now Marian. Corzino leaves it off for his teammate. Here's Cowden, goal scorer for Marian, and now Duran. Duran trying to get himself in a good position. He does, shot wide left. Corner kick coming up here for Marian. That'll be number 20, Logan Holevis. Corner kick still waiting here. Now the kick sent towards the middle, and Pursuit gets a hand on it, and this one sent all the way back. I think that made its way onto the street. beyond the fence here at River Forest. .425 left to go here in River Forest. Pursuit's kick starts the clock again. Header there from Olsen. Bicycle kick from Sebastian. Moves it the other way. The Cougars are right there. Here goes Michael Frank. Sends it down near sideline. Oscar Matano tries to keep it in. He's pressured by Chase Hayden. Hayden finally knocks this one out. Ball will stay with Marian. Looks like Matano might have got a piece of it or something, as we're under 4 minutes here in River Forest. One of these teams got to find a goal, or we're walking away with a 1-1 tie here. This one sent towards the middle. Blocked by a couple bodies. Garrett Pointer fighting for it, but getting away are the Sabres. Cowden now. Backwards. Olsen. Big kick downfield. Good kick there from Azaline, is partially blocked by the foot of Oscar Montejano, as this one's getting set towards the far corner. Garrett Pointer racing forward. He's going to get there in time. Pointer now. He's got a chance here. Tries to center it. No one in the vicinity, however, as Cowden clears this one away. Under 3 minutes to go here, River Forest. Cougars deep into the Marian zone. Might have something here. Now this one tried to be centered. Doesn't go anywhere. Gonay. Header tries to move it forward, but it's booted out of there by Azaline. On the Cougars' half, both teams fighting for it. And Kaufman and splits to keep that one in bounds for the Sabres. And then we're going to foul called here. Free kick Cougars. Less than a minute to go, 45 seconds to be exact, as Cougars might have time for one more push. They're going to send everyone downfield, as doing the free kick's going to be Pursuit. So Pursuit winds up the kick. This is one as good as it's going all the way down. Pursuit not even heading back to the net. He's kind of staying around the 35-yard line now in the Cougars' half, as this one is sent towards the net. There's a header, just misses to the right. That might be the best opportunity the Cougars are going to get to end the game here, as we are now under 10 seconds. Marian, can they get anything going here? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that'll do it for today's game, as there's a Sabre struggling to get up. That's Duran. He finally gets back on his feet. But that's our final score for the day. The teams make their way back to their benches. I think they're making sure that there should be no more time left after that player went down. There isn't. So 1-1 our final score today between the Cougars and the Sabres men's soccer team. A repeat of yesterday when the women's teams tied 1-1 right here in River Forest. So after today's tie, Marian, they're going to move their record to 6-5-2 overall, 4-2-2 within conference play. Meanwhile, the Cougars, they'll now stand at 1-8-2 overall. Meanwhile, their conference within their record within NAC play will go to 1-5-2. Cougars men's soccer team back in action this Wednesday, back end of a soccer doubleheader with the women's team here at CUC. Men's team will kick off at 3 p.m. versus Moody Bible. Coverage for that can be found at cucougars.com. The stream can be found on our YouTube page, CUC Sports. So that'll do it for today's broadcast from here in River Forest. We will go over those stats one more time really quick. So Nick Pursuit ends the day, 6 saves in the game, 1 goal allowed. His counterpart, Aaron Perez, 4 saves, 1 goal allowed. Goal scorer for the Cougars was Brian Gonzalez. He was assisted by Oscar Montejano. Meanwhile, for Marian, Drew Cowden was given the goal, and then eventually after a little bit of thinking, Jelaniano Corazino was given the assist. So now that'll do it for today's broadcast from CUC. I want to say a quick shout out to everyone making the stream possible. Down on the field at the scores table was Kate Bennis. We had Parker Kelly in the booth next to us, taking care of some of the finer details part of the broadcast. Jackson Holzheimer on camera, Janie Turnus on production, Emily Balaban floating around, doing a couple different things today. So this is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars tie the Sabres 1-1. They'll be back in action this Wednesday. Make sure to come back for that. Stream on the Cougar Sports Network. But until then, this is Peter Borkowski saying, as always, go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.